Hi guys, and welcome to Hooked for Life with Mary Beth Temple. In this video we're going to take a look at the Surface Crochet stitch called the Braided Chain, which you can see right here in the pink. This is on the Lemon Zinger square. The Lemon Zinger square is a free pattern that is available on the blog, done in 4 colors of yarn, and I will drop the link for that in the description box below. But a lot of people are unfamiliar with how to do this braided chain. It's super simple. If you're interested in the plain chain stitch, there's another video for that, and I will link to that at the end. But in this video, oh, and there it is, that's our regular chain. We're going to do this braided chain right now. Now I'm working in horizontally. I'm working across a horizontal row because when you're working in the round, of course, that's what's going to happen, is you're essentially always working in horizontals. But I have a slip knot on my hook, and I'm working in the tops of the stitches. Even though that I have already crocheted in them, I'm working in the tops. So I'm putting my hook down top to bottom. Let me show you the back. And I'm going to yarn over from back to front, and I'm going to essentially make a slip stitch. I'm bringing that all the way through. So this is the same way that we started the other one, if you've checked that out. But instead of going in the next stitch, next stitch, next stitch, next stitch like we did here, we're going back and forth. So we did a stitch in this row. Now we're going to do a stitch in this row, then a stitch in this row, then a stitch, and we're going to go back and forth over 2 rows of stitches instead of 1. So here's one, so here's the next one. So we're going to go down, top to bottom. We're going to yarn over from back to front. You're not going to have to go through all this every single time. I'm just showing you the back so you can see it. So you can see that that stitch has a slight angle. Now I'm going back to the first row that I'm working in. I'm going to the next empty stitch. So hook down, top to bottom, yarn over, bring it through, and much like a slip stitch, I'm bringing it through everything. So my first guy zigzagged this way, my second guy zigzagged that way. One more time, going to the next empty stitch in the alternate row, hook down, top to bottom, yarn over, bring it through everything. Now, for this one in particular, you want to have it be a little more loose than you might normally, because being loose is what gives it the braided look. If you go a little tighter, it's more zigzaggy, if that makes sense. Going looser gives it the braid. And as I said, you don't have to turn the work over every time. Once you get the hang of where the stitches go, you can do what I'm doing here. Just insert your hook down, yarn over, and you're yarning over back to front as if you always do. Now, much like a chain stitch, if you discover you messed up, like I don't like the way this is laying, so much like a chain stitch, it's really easy to undo. Just undo it like you would do a regular chain stitch. Let's see if I can do a better job on that. I think it needs to be a tad looser. So I'm going over here, yarn over, pull it up, back to the first row, top to bottom, yarn over, pull it up, back to the second row, top to bottom, yarn over, pull it up. There we go, now we're getting it. So it gives this little braided look. Is it braided? It is not. But it looks braided, and the looser you make it, the more depth of texture that you get. I'm going to just put a couple more in here. Top to bottom, yarn over, pull it through, back to the other row, top to bottom, yarn over, pull it through. And that's all there is to it. When I'm finished my work, all I have to do is give myself a nice, 46-inch tail so that you can weave it in later. Now, in this case, what I'm going to do is pull up the end And I'm just going to poke it down in the last stitch that I came out of, which is here, and then I can weave it in. If you're working in the round like you would be for the lemon zinger square, what I like to do is bring that cut end up and put it under, almost like a mattress stitch. I like to attach it to the very first stitch, but in this particular instance we're working on rows. So that's all there is to the Surface Crochet Braided Chain. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe to the channel for fresh content weekly on knitting and crocheting and sewing and crafts and whatever else I get around to. And join me Wednesdays at 2 o'clock for live so you can find out what's going on here in the studio. Thanks so much for joining us, you guys. Bye-bye.